The Hindu Editorial Fighting Cancer. Along with vaccination, a screening must be done to detect early signs of HPV. India has taken up the fight against cervical cancer in earnest, with the central government announcing that it will roll out vaccination for girls aged between 9 and 14 years through schools. The decision comes at a critical juncture, with a study in the Lancet published this month showing that India accounts for the highest number of cervical cancer cases in Asia, followed by China. More than 58% of all cases of cervical cancer and deaths globally were estimated in Asia, with India accounting for 21% of cases and 23% of deaths, followed by China, 18% and 17%. Cervical cancer is a preventable and treatable cancer. It is caused by infection with the human papillomavirus HPV, and there are vaccines which protect against carcinogenic HPV. With more than 600,000 women diagnosed with cervical cancer worldwide in 2020, the World Health Organization laid down several guidelines that countries need to follow to eliminate it as a public health problem. According to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, the WHO has specified that countries must reach and maintain an incidence rate of fewer than 4 new cases of cervical cancer per 1,000 women a year. To achieve that goal, it is necessary that 90% of girls will have to be fully vaccinated with the HPV vaccine by the age of 15. To that end, the government's intent to introduce the HPV vaccine in the Universal Immunization Program is a welcome move. India's immunization network, as was evident during COVID 19, has worked well, and diseases such as polio and maternal and neonatal tetanus have been eliminated. The UIP is one of the largest public health programs, targeting over 2 crore newborns and 2 crore pregnant women annually, and offers free vaccines for at least 12 diseases. To battle cervical cancer, India is expected to roll out the indigenously developed Cervavic vaccine by mid 2023. It has received the Drugs Controller General of India's approval and has been cleared by the National Technical Advisory Group for Immunization for use in the UIP program. The vaccination will be provided primarily through schools, but importantly, the government has clarified that girls who do not go to school will be reached through community outreach and mobile teams. This is a vital step because studies show that there is a link between cervical cancer incidence and human development index values, with progressively lower rates observed as HDI rises. Together with vaccination, a screening programs must be conducted to detect early signs of the disease to allow time for treatment. Second editorial, Live Quietly. Bani Marma should accept the results in Fiji and respectfully leave the office. Fiji, the tiny archipelago nation in the South Pacific that has seen several coups since it got independence from the British in 1970, is facing a new round of power struggle and political instability. The latest crisis broke out after the December 14 general election produced a hung assembly, with the ruling Fiji First Party of Prime Minister Frank Bainimarama winning 26 seats in the 55-member parliament, three short of majority. The People's Alliance of former Prime Minister and current opposition leader Sitiveni Rabuka came second with 21 seats. Mr. Bainimarama, who came to power through a coup in 2006 and later refashioned himself as a democratic leader under a new constitution that was introduced in 2013, has faced criticism of suppressing dissent and cracking down on the opposition. The election was marred by allegations of fraud, but after the results were announced, three opposition parties came together to unseat Mr. Bani Marma and form a coalition government. The People's Alliance and its coalition partner, the National Federation Party, which won 5 seats, have 26 MP support. This left the third position bloc, the Social Democratic Liberal Party, which won 3 seats, in a kingmaker's role. The party decided on Tuesday in a close internal vote to support Mr. Rabuka, tilting the balance in favor of the People's Alliance. Mr. Rabuka, who first came to power through a coup in 1987 and then faced elections, is an experienced politician who built the opposition unity based on their common enmity towards Mr. Bani Marma's rule. Mr. Bani Marma has emerged on the world stage as a major advocate of actions against climate change. His government also saw Fiji deepening its relationship with China, whose footprint in the South Pacific is rapidly expanding. The Fiji First still remains a strong party, but the opposition deal sealed its fate. The Prime Minister has not conceded yet. After the opposition announced the coalition agreement, the government called in the military. Authorities say there were incidents of ethnic violence between indigenous Fijians and ethnic Indians. Fiji has a history of ethnic clashes, but the opposition say there is no law and order problem and that Mr. Bani Marma is trying to cling on to power. Any attempt to sabotage the election results will destabilize the country internally, disrupt its ethnic balance, and complicate its foreign policy agenda. Mr. Bani Rama, Mr. Ben, Mr. Bani Marma should accept the results, respectfully leave the office, and set a strong precedent of peaceful transition of power for the country's political class. Thank you.